All right, so we got to talk about this, man. This is crazy, man. This is crazy. I don't know if you guys seen what Stunna Reese posted on his Instagram story feed, but apparently he got an argument with somebody. I think this guy might be a rapper or an upcoming rapper about this whole frame off situation, right? This guy here, 5 star, said, if it ain't a frame off, we don't want to talk about it, though. And that's what Sugar Man said, right? That's what Sugar Man started all over the internet, right? On YouTube, on Instagram. And then Stunna Reese said, never been much of a talker. But anyway, so he's making an example of this guy. And then he tagged pretty much everybody that he knows, like 32 Gang and everybody else that's been talking about this whole frame off stuff, this nonsense, right? They're making this frame off stuff seem like they just created this stuff, right? They just invented this whole frame off stuff. So this is the guy right here, 5 star AJ underscore ENT, right? I think he might be like an upcoming rapper. So yeah, he got in the comment section under one of Stunna Reese's posts and was talking about if it ain't frame off, we don't want to talk about it. But that's what your boy Sugar Man started. Sugar Man started all of this on YouTube and Instagram, and now he's trying to wave the white flag. Now he's trying to play victim, right? Trying to make it seem like he ain't start all this commotion, right? All this drama over frame off, right? Making it seem like frame off is like something they just recently discovered or something like that. They invented this stuff. And let's be honest, right? Come on now, let's be honest. All these guys that are getting frame off, right, for whatever it costs, right? They're trying to make it seem like they're spending $100,000, $200,000 on these cars or whatever. All this money, if you really think about it, all this money is coming from these raffles. And it's crazy to me, it's crazy when they make it seem like, oh, we're not trying to compete with the underdogs or the little guys. We're going for the big dogs, right? The top dogs. But you're using the underdogs. Like, you're using all the regular people to fund your projects. Like, you're using regular people, right? Broke people, pretty much, right? Because a lot of broke people are the ones entering into these raffles. Not all of them, but the majority of them, right? I don't know any, like, multi-millionaire that's entering these raffles, right? It's got to be, like, a few, right? But the most of them are pretty, broke people. The ones they don't want to compete against, right? The ones they kind of talk down on, right? But like I said, a lot of the raffle money is funding these projects. So it's crazy to me, like, they always want to throw these shots about people clout chasing or people trying to get their views off their names. And it's like, bro, you guys are doing the exact same thing. So you can't come after me for using your name because I'm obviously talking about you. Duh. I'm reacting to your story feed post. I'm reacting to whatever you post on Instagram, whatever you upload on YouTube. So of course I'm reacting to you. That's why I'm putting your name in the title. But don't make it seem like, oh, you're clout chasing. You're using my name for views, and you guys are using broke people to get money. So it's the same thing. I don't get it. You guys are funding all these cars with raffle money. Illegal raffle money at best, right? It's only like CJ on 32s right now that has actually switched things around into doing it more legitimate. That's the only one so far. CJ on 32s. Everybody else is still doing that raffle creator BS, right? They're still like brainwashing you guys. But they're using you to fund all this frame off bullshit. Look at this right here. $200 will get you 50,000 tickets. Does anybody that actually bought at this price point actually know they have 50,000 tickets? So they need everybody else. They need the regular person, right? The average Joe, right? The underdog, right? All these, like, they try to use all these goofy names to make people feel bad about themselves because they don't have a frame off or they're not on their level, right? I'm talking about the big guys, right? It's like, bro, you guys are using everyday people to fund your projects, to buy these cars. And this is the other thing too, right? Like, you guys are funding all these custom projects, right? You're doing all these custom projects to get these nice show-ready cars, right? But then you're raffling off a whole bunch of junk. Like, are they gonna do a frame off and a full restoration on these cars that they're giving away? Or are they just buying a bunch of junk and putting some nice, I don't even think they're doing a paint job on it. Might be like a sloppy paint job, one layer, one coating, two coating at best, and some wheels, and then they raffle off the car. But I bet you they ain't gonna do no frame off. They ain't gonna give you a fully customized car like the ones they brag about on social media to you for raffle money. That's what I don't understand. Like I get it with CJ on 32s, right? He's giving you guys decently new cars. I mean, decently used cars. He used to give away brand spanking new cars, but it seems like lately it's been a bunch of used cars. But in comparison to what the other guys are doing, CJ's probably the only one that's giving away decent cars. Rel and Stunna Reese are giving you guys a bunch of trash, like a bunch of junk. And then they brag when they take the raffle money and go buy these custom cars, or they invest in custom cars for their channel, for their social media, or to go down to Rick Ross and show off and all this, and then talk like, oh, you guys are clout chasing. Bro, you guys are using people to fund these raffles. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. It's not like you coming out of pocket for all these cars. You and Sugar Man. Sugar Man would not be in the position he's in right now unless it was for raffle money. Like, you guys got to get serious now. Sugar Man wants to sit on here, act like he only goes after big dogs. Bro, you only really worked on that car ever since you started all these raffles. Before the raffles, you weren't working on too many cars. So, yeah, this is the guy right here. They kind of kept going back and forth, back and forth. I think this guy is just trolling. But it's just weird to me that they'll go and say, oh, you guys are trolling. You guys are clout chasing. You're using our name for views. And you guys are using regular people, brainwashing regular people, everyday people, you know, honest, hardworking people into thinking like they're going to win these cars. And they're, at the end of the day, they're winning junk cars, if they're actually winning cars. If it ain't family members or relatives or whatever, right, that are actually getting these cars, at the end of it all, they're really getting a bunch of junk. They're not going to give custom cars. They're not. Are they going to do a frame off on these box Chevys that they're going to give away? Come on now, get in the comment section. Are they giving away, are they doing frame off? And they're just making this frame off stuff like seem like it's like something they invented. Like, they've been doing these frame offs for like almost like, from what I can like tell, it's probably been like 2 decades, 3 decades. People have been doing these restorations. That's pretty much what they call it, right? It's just restorations where they separate the body of the car from the frame and then they just restore it, right? And they've been doing this stuff to other, like before cars, it was bikes, you know, motorcycles. They did it to furniture, right? All this antique stuff, paintings. Like, this stuff has been around for like probably centuries. And these guys, they just make it seem like they invented like frame off. I think they just probably invented the word frame off because it's just called restoration. That's really what it is. It's just they're restoring a junk car. And then they want to get on here and brag about it, right? And make it seem, they just want to like put it in your face, right? And that's cool, right? Like, I get it, right? That's cool. You got this car, you invested $100,000 or whatever they claim. I don't know how they spend $100,000 on these cars, because there's people that have been restoring old Corvettes for decades and they've never spent that much money. There's people that have restored like the Shelby GTs, right? Like really old school cars, like the Bel Airs and stuff like that. And I've never heard them say, oh, we spent $1 million. Stunna Reese got on video talking about, oh, it cost $1 million. $1 million for what? To do the frame off and paint the car, and $1 million for what? Like, they be talking to you guys because most of you guys are just brainwashed. And it's the same brainwashed idiots that are the ones buying these raffle tickets for these illegal raffles that are funding all these projects. Like, these guys like to sit on video and brag and show off cars they got and money and all this, but the money came from raffles. It came from everyday people. It's like you're using broke people to fund their lifestyle, and then they want to spit on you. They took the money from you, they got the cars, they got the lifestyle, and then they turn around and spit on you, then pee on you, and then make it seem like, oh, we're only competing with bosses. But you wasn't a boss before the raffles. Sugar Man was not a boss before the raffles. If Sugar Man had money, why did he not restore that T-Rex? Why is it now, suddenly after like several back-to-back raffles, that he is spending this apparent $200,000? It's like a whole bunch of brainwashing going on. And the only people that really support this kind of goofy shit are the broke people, or the ones that are tagging along for the ride along. Like, this is why you got that goofy Saucy Cabin, right? Because he desperately wants to be within the group. So this is why he makes it seem like, oh, I'm supporting it, because he's waiting for them to let him in. And they're not going to let you into their circle. They're not. All right? If they were going to let you in, they would have let in Marty Marr. They would have kept him in. Marty Marr is broke. The only reason Marty Marr was getting paid was because he was putting the whole liability of the raffle under his name. It's like all this goofy shit, talking about frame off. Like, frame off these nuts. That's what you need to frame off. Talking about, oh, it's frame off. It's like, they've been doing this stuff for years, decades. You guys did not invent nothing. You're not doing anything special here, folks.